I love today's exercise on skill mapping. So skill mapping is one of the things that we do a lot of times with small business owners. You might be getting this because you're part of the small business class, but skill mapping is critical if you are in a high growth time. So skill mapping is, I would take about an hour to do it. If you want to take all day, that would be great and kind of do it. But really 1 hour, 60 minutes, you can get a lot done. But I'm going to ask you to look for 100 skills. And that's when it starts getting wonky. People start getting real iffy at 35 skills. But I'm going to kind of go through what I think skills are so you can put them together. For those of you who are watching this because you're in our small business summer boot camp, you're looking at this because you're trying to expand what you actually know, and we're trying to make money out of it. So we're trying to use the things that you already know and either align them a little differently or just put resources together differently. So a skill map is really a session that you want to take with yourself to start to look at what are the skills that I have. And for a small business, a lot of times I'll do that with all of the leaders. What are the skills that you have? And I'll start putting their maps together. So for you as an individual, one of the things in Prosperity Mindset is that what I found, and this is after 24 years, right? Because I've been doing this a long time. What I find is that most people, 99.9%, are actually a lot more skilled than they give themselves credit for. That you're a lot more sophisticated than you may realize. If you want to know the number one reason to do a skill map, it's because you actually have more skills than you can think of regularly. So we're just trying to kind of get the non-resume skills up onto the thought process. So when you're thinking about a skill, it's not always just like your claim to fame. My sister's skill is that, boy, that girl can cook. Right. So when you look at someone's skills, that is her claim to fame, right? Cookies. Some people are a great baker. Some people can fix anything, right? They have kind of a claim to fame. Those are the easy grabs, the things that you're very, very good at. Sometimes it's achievements. Some things it's just that you're gifted at. Some things it's that you practiced a long time at, like music or voice or drawing or art or math, right? That I'm skilled at math only because I've done thousands and thousands of wonderful and delightful spreadsheets, right? So like you are good at something, but some things are just things that you might have some experience in. Right, I travel 1 month out of the year. I live somewhere else every year. So I have an enormous amount of, that I have 12 to 16 weeks a year of travel experience. That's valuable. So you may also have things that you just have a competency on because you know how to do them. So sometimes that's something as simple as teaching someone else how to play a game that you've played a lot, coming up with strategy. I recently went to a bar with my nieces, and they go every week it's like a tournament that you play on quiz, like they give you questions. And then you compete, and the prize is like a pitcher of beer, which is not what I'm going to drink, but it's just fun to play this game where you try to trivia night. So right, we went to this game and they're like, okay, let me give you all the ways you got to know this trivia, and the trivia of how they solve for the how to get the answer was not what is the right answer. Their tactic, the skill that they were trying to teach me was, no, go to whatever you know isn't right and cross that off. Clear the path for what you know is wrong. And so, right, you might just have competency. They have a lot of competency in this game. And you also might just be somebody who has moxie. One of the things I love about moxie is that my friends who have a lot of moxie, they can help me find clothes, right? They'll help me get dressed better. They'll help me just be a little more, right? So you might just be someone who has moxie. That might be a skill for you. And you're just going to kind of map it out on a piece of paper. And so sometimes I will just kind of put myself in the middle as a circle, and then I'll kind of brain map it out that way. You can just write it as a list. You can do however you want, but you're trying to get a very thorough representation of 100. So you want to keep count. because it is to give you the tools that you have in how to be better, how to be more resourceful, right? The number one resource in the world is resourcefulness. And the number one way to know what resources you have is to have a list. Is to have a list. So think about your ability to have style or organization, or that you may have a huge capacity. One of the reasons that people call me in for lots of things that are really hard and complex is because I have a huge amount of capacity, that I can take in huge amounts of data. One of the things that being in my profession for a long time is that I can process huge amounts of data. So, and I've trained on that, much like you're doing with AI right now, right? That is what I have done for years and years, is train on problem solving. So you may have a lot of capacity in being able to do things. You might have just an artfulness. You may be dexterous in something. You might have social skills. When I look at some of my other friends, they're just eloquent, where I'll go, how can I say this better? I need language. You might have a role. Sometimes your role is as a peacemaker, or perhaps your role is as a neighbor, right? Sometimes your skill is that you're neighborly. One of the things that I love about my friend who lives in the South is that she is hospitality. If no one can teach hospitality more than my friend from the South, that she just has this natural, gentle, beautiful, fabulous swagger about, well, why don't you just come right on in? It's fabulous, right? It's a skill that she just does effortlessly. And so not only is it a social skills, but she's just so elegant at it. And you might be that way too. You might be someone who has a vision. You can help somebody clear all the clutter out of their mind and get to their vision. You might be able to be just someone who's just disciplined. Like, how do you get up and do the tasks that you need to do all the time? So when you're doing your skill map, remember, just free flow, and really start to give yourself that list of here's 100 of them. One of the things that I think is really a skill is wit. Being able to crack a joke at the right time, or just craft your words well, or just get through the day with funny. It's fun to be funny. And so when you're thinking about your skills, again, the outcome that we're looking for is so that you now have a place of prosperity, right? That you can look at this list and go, okay, are any of these skills ones that I can put together? Because, right, you are the resource. You're your first resource. And so if we get you as the resource, understanding all of the resources that you have, it can inspire you. And it can invite in new problem solvings. That sometimes I have to just look at my skill list and go, oh yeah, I actually know how to use this tool. So sometimes I'll put in the skills of actual programs I know how to run. Can an Excel spreadsheet help me with this? Can ChatGPT help me with this? Is this a job for, right, this spell check program or whatever you're using, right? Can I use Firefly for this? There are lots of other ways that you can utilize tools for yourself. So making a list of the things that you are very good at is really helpful. What will sometimes happen is you'll also look at the things that you have no skills in. And if those start coming down, don't lose that. Just put them on another list to the side, because that's also where you need your helpful people. That's where your who list, HW who knows how to do these skills. If I'm terrible at this, if that's what's running through your head is self-judgment, or I don't know how to do that, I don't have any skills, I don't know, just put it on a separate list, and that's where you start looking at that who, not how, who can do this, who is very good at this type of achievement, who has this gift, who knows how to do math, who knows how to do accounting, who knows how to do marketing, who knows how to do these things. Okay, great. Put those on a list. We'll do those a different day. But today, you're just going to focus on your magic, on the things that you do really well. and the things that you have expertise in, that you didn't get this far without knowing a whole bunch of stuff. So sometimes my expertise is, maybe meal plan, or maybe my expertise is something that's in my regular life. Those skills are still skills, and you can bring them forward. I don't have to know how, and it's just a map. We're just making a map. And that map is there for you to use so that you understand the resources that you bring to the table. And it's funny how many times that list comes up. So I would put it in your journal. I would put it where you can look at it again. I would post it for yourself over the next summer or the next few weeks so that you can kind of look at it and see what comes up. Sometimes it's helpful to ask other people, like, what do you think my number one skills are? This also happened on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn did this where they asked other people to go, hey, what is that person's skills? It's powerful. I think that the number one skill that what did my community vote as my number one skill was entrepreneurship. So that was interesting to see, how did I portray myself into the world, right? What do my friends think my skills are? And that's powerful too. So you can invite people to your skill map to be like, hey, I'm just trying to map out what skills I have. What do you think my skills are? And sometimes you're surprised, and that'll be fun. So have a great time with this activity. Be loose, be markers, like bring all your colory fun things to it, because I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, have a great day. I will see you soon. Bye.